One question we often get at PSN Labs is, marketing wants to make this a specific color, whether that's yellow, whether that's blue, red, and our answer is always, let's try and stay away from the colors. The colors can be a problem. The chromophores, the chemistries of the colors that are being used tend to be very problematic. They're not so often now, but even 5 years ago, a lot of azo dyes were being used, and azo dyes are carcinogenic, they're mutagenic, they're just a no-go, they're bad. They produce brilliant, beautiful colors, but they're not meant for the body, they're not meant to interface with the body. So our advice is to work with either a natural color, so whatever the innate color of the polymer is after it's processed, or stick to something very basic like carbon black based or titanium dioxide based. So either black, white, shades of gray. I know it's not as exciting, but designing for biocompatibility, designing for your cleaning, disinfection, sterilization, reducing the ability for any of those colors to come out is really the goal here. And also picking something that inherently is not as toxicologically risky as something that is colored. There are some more companies now looking into how to process and create more mineral-based colors that we're seeing come out a little bit more, and those might be very suitable alternatives, but we recommend staying away from the chemistry-based colors.
So reasonably, if we think about the industrial design phase, which is where we start to look at things like color, fit, form, function, and use, that's a reasonable place to actually start thinking about design for biocompatibility, even though, generally speaking, it is typically an afterthought until we get to the end. But based on what you're saying there, it is a concern and it's going to be a challenge for that. So we should really be bringing that further upstream in the process to create more design for biocompatibility.
Absolutely, and as Matt said earlier, we really envision and are trying to get the industry towards changing to a more confirmatory type of testing where we know we picked materials from the get-go that are less risky, that are biocompatible, that we're not anticipating are going to have leachates that are going to be potentially problematic on the tox risk assessment side, or if you're a respiratory device in the VOC testing realm of ISO 18562. We want this to be confirmatory passing results, and instead of an investigation, as you said before, Matt, where we're not really sure what's going to happen and we might get items that then necessitate some additional testing at a larger lead time and a larger cost.
And that's one of the tools I think that we've been pushing for at PSN Labs is doing some screening work up front. And again, it's inappropriate to screen every single material against every single assay, but using a down selection to choose an appropriate material or appropriate color in a coupon type test at the beginning is an appropriate surrogate. But we have to remember that we have to test in the final finished form of that device. We can't take a coupon of a material and pass a biological endpoint test because the surface areas are going to be different, the manufacturing processes are going to be different. We have to capture that full-on patient risk, right?
Absolutely.
So Laura, from a toxicology perspective, everything you've talked about, the strategy for biocompatibility, it really does make sense. And we've positioned ourselves at PSN Labs successfully by having the capability of manufacturing or prototyping in functional ways materials of construction by actually making real tooling and processing. We have the ability to test those materials and we have the ability to design those things. So when we think about the medical device space and we think about where the industry is going, having total control and understanding of from the basic pellets all the way through the final finished form device, that is something that I think we see through EU MDR, we see that through the changes in the 10993 and FDA guidance that is critical to take into account, because if we don't, the challenge is we lose that control, we lose that knowledge, we lose that information that feeds into identifying risks and preventing them. So, from a risk perspective, if any of our customers have any questions, if they'd like to reach out to us, we'd be more than happy to answer any questions they might have.
Absolutely. We encourage you, whether you're in a final finished form and you're ready to start testing, whether you're just trying to figure out how to create your device and what materials you should use, or if you have a device that's already been on the market for 20 years. We have seen it all and we are here to help you through every step of the way. So we encourage you to contact us and we will be able to help with any needs that you have.